Hello, my name is Tom of Die for Games, and this is my video review for KillZone Shadowfall. KillZone has always led the charge for Sony's PlayStation, setting the bar for all other games to come. KillZone 1 and 2 showed us what a brutal and futuristic shooter can be like, and KillZone 3 was one of the first stunning 3D games for the PlayStation 3. KillZone Shadowfall is a PlayStation 4's flagship title, once again showing the world the potential the new console has. Developer Guerrilla Games went back to the drawing boards to give us something new and unseen before in the long-running series, but have they succeeded? Graphically, Shadowfall is jaw-droppingly gorgeous. The jump in visuals between the last generation and this new generation was never going to be as dramatic as the last jump, going from standard definition to high definition, but I cannot stress enough how stunning Shadowfall is. The textures are smooth and highly detailed. The resolution is pin sharp and runs achingly smooth. Not once was there a tear or pop-ins of pixelation of any kind, but the lighting effects. Incredible. When the sunlight dances through the leaves or when shadows poke holes in the background, it's almost eye-watering, and these effects drench every corner of every location, big or small. The patchy voice acting has been much improved from previous installments, and the score does its job well, complementing what's going on screen. The guns sound suitably meaty as well. Shadowfall begins its tale with the destruction of Helghan, which is obliterated by the Terror side. Having nowhere to go, its neighbouring planet Vector was forced to open its doors to the refugees. Still unable to live in peace with each other, a giant wall was erected to separate the warring factions. 30 years later, we meet our hero Lucas Kellen. Having seen his father killed by the Helghast, Kellen quickly moves through the ranks to become Vector's most loyal and best Shadow Marshal. Following a dangerous reconnaissance mission, Kellen gets captured and starts to realize the world isn't as black and white as he first thought, and starts to question Vector's morals, much to his commanding officer / surrogate father's dismay. Now it is up to Kellen to try to strike a peace between the races, but how far is he willing to go? Shadowfall's story marks a new path for the series, as Kellen isn't some brave soldier hell-bent on killing all the Helghast, but neither are the Helghast portrayed in a pure evil manner of the past. This new direction totally opens Killzone up, whereas before we were running through a series of steely corridors and dank and bleak canyons. Shadowfall gives way to lush forests and futuristic cities. We even get to float around a spooky space station. Shadowfall plays like any shooter on the market, using the now industry standard control scheme, but Kellen is now much lighter than the past protagonists. Killzone has always felt heavy-footed, and dragging a gun across the screen used to feel like an effort, but thankfully the game feels much quicker and nimble. The most obvious and new fun addition is Owl, a personal aerial drone. You can command Owl to go shoot or distract enemies, fire off a shockwave. It can also hack terminals and put up a nice safe force field. It can even provide a zipline for you. Having Owl gives Shadowfall some tactical edge and always remains fun. I never got fed up of sending off into a herd of baddies, then flanking them to pick off the strays. Owls is controlled using DualShock 4's touchpad and works very well. Flicking the touchpad to bring up Owl's commands feel very natural and quick. Whereas the level design never ceases to amaze, the missions that take place in them can be sometimes questionable, namely the times when Shadowfall forgets it's a shooter and not a platformer. Kellen might be lighter, but he doesn't have the intricacies to be leaping from ledge to ledge with any finesse. He just ends up falling, and these sections can be very frustrating to play. You've also seen all the missions before: find this, destroy that, guard this person, escape from here, etc. Though familiar these missions are still solidly built. When I had to escape my Helghast captors with no weapons at all, I still felt tense and uneasy. Some maps are absolutely massive as well, which encourage multiple strategies. Should you take out surveillance first? Or maybe the ground patrol first? It's totally up to you. I liked how Shadowfall never forced any particular way to complete a mission. The single player campaign should last about 10 hours, and with the aforementioned reasons demands replay, but there is also the always entertaining multiplayer, which also takes place in the same massive lush maps. Most of these maps are also multi-tiered, which keeps it very interesting. Classic Warzone will see you play randomly through a roster of team deathmatches, capture the flag, and map domination. Custom Warzone, however, you write the rules. You can create any kind of game with a seemingly endless amount of weapons and attachments. There isn't an XP system in place, as all the weapons and abilities are unlocked right from the start, and by completing skill challenges you will be rewarded with weapon modifications. So to conclude, Killzone Shadowfall is a welcome change in direction. Along with the PS Vita's excellent Killzone Mercenary, Killzone has become fun and interesting again. The story is a lot more enjoyable and the maps are simply breathtaking. Sony can be proud to call Killzone Shadowfall its flagship title. Thank you for watching. This is Tom of Die for Games again. Bye bye.